It was just after 3 in the morning when Elena Ramos woke to the sound of crying. Not the cry of her children. She knew those voices by heart. This was something else. A woman's weeping drifted through the thin walls of her Atlanta townhouse, carried on the rain, steady and hollow, like it was coming from everywhere at once. Elena slid from her bed, careful not to wake her husband's side. Empty tonight. Luis was on the night shift again, somewhere across the city. She grabbed her phone. 3 a.m. Flood warning banner flashing across the lock screen. Outside, rain hammered the gutters, and the little drainage creek behind their fence churned like a black vein. She told herself it was nothing, just the storm. But then she heard it again, closer. A voice, low and broken, just outside her window. Don't let them near the water. Her heart ceased. She moved to the children's room. Sophia, 8 years old, sat up in bed, eyes wide. "Mummy," she whispered, "who's crying outside?" "No one," Elena said quickly. "Just the rain." "Go back to sleep." She pulled the blanket up to her daughter's chin, checked little Mateo's breath, steady, dreaming, and forced a smile. But outside, in the corner of her eye, she saw movement through the blinds. A figure, a woman in white, standing by the fence. Her dress soaked through, her hair clinging like seaweed. Her head hung low, her shoulders heaving with every weeping breath. Elena whispered, "Signora, are you all right?" The woman lifted her face just enough, skin pale as riverstone, eyes hollow with shadow. And then she spoke again, clear, mournful. "The water remembers. Don't let them near the water." A siren wailed in the distance, rolling across the storm. When Elena blinked, the woman was gone. The fence was slick with rain, and in the cracks between the boards, strands of long black hair clung like seaweed. On the muddy ground below, bare footprints that led nowhere. Her neighbor, Doña Rosa, shuffled past with a bag of oranges. She caught Elena staring at the creek. "Atlanta cries when it rains," Rosa said, her voice grave. "But some cries don't belong to this city." She pressed an orange into Elena's hand, her eyes never leaving the swollen creek. "Your grandmother used to say, 'Water remembers,'" Elena frowned. "You've heard it too?" Rosa only shrugged, crossing herself before heading inside. That night the crying returned, louder, closer. Elena washed dishes in the kitchen, trying to drown it out, when she heard it, knocking. Not at the door, not at the window. The sound came from the drain itself. 3 slow knocks from deep in the pipes. She shut off the faucet. Silence. Then the pipes rattled, groaned like something shifting inside the walls. Her phone buzzed. Another flood alert, flash flood warning, seek higher ground. "Mummy?" She spun. Sophia stood in the hallway, her small voice trembling. "The woman in white spoke to me." She knew my name. Elena's blood turned cold. She went to Rosa. The old woman's living room was heavy with the scent of candle wax and chamomile. Rosa set down a fragile water-stained letter. "It's time you know," she said. "Your family is tied to her. Your great-great-grandmother, Isela Ramos, was there the night the village lied about La Llorona. She didn't curse us, Elena. She warned us. That's why she comes back. To the Ramos daughters. To mothers." Elena shook her head. "No, she takes children." Rosa's eyes softened. "That's what people who don't listen believe." Back home, Elena sealed every drain, stuffed towels under doors, whispered her children's names into the air like a prayer. "Sofia Ramos, Mateo Ramos, your names belong to the light, not to the water." But the house seemed to tilt under the storm. The backyard creek had swollen into a river. At the glass door, Condensation spread like a handprint. Beyond it stood the woman again, white dress dripping, her hair matted across her face. She pressed her hands to the glass. "Let me help." Eleanor's breath shook. "What do you want from me?" The woman's hollow eyes lifted, full of sorrow. "I was a mother. I don't take them. I warn them. It's the water that's hungry, not me." And then the glass door bowed inward with pressure, as if the flood itself were trying to push inside. The children stirred, restless. Mateo whispered, "The lady is crying in the ceiling." A dark, wet circle spread across the plaster above his bed. The pipes rattled, the drains hissed. Water forced itself through the cracks. Then the flood came. The backyard fence gave way, and a wall of black water surged against the house. The glass door burst open, a torrent pouring into the living room. Eleanor grabbed her children, screaming their names again into the air, desperate for the water to hear. Sofia Ramos, Mateo Ramos. And then, silence. The wave stopped at the foot of the stairs, held back by an unseen line, as if the house itself had drawn a boundary. At the center of it stood La Llorona, her dress spreading like tide, her face etched with eternal grief. She began to sing, a lullaby thin and trembling. The water stilled at her voice. It receded inch by inch, draining away as if ashamed. Eleanor stared. She whispered, "Thank you." The woman met her eyes, tears streaming like rivers carved into her cheeks. "Listen when I weep." And then she was gone, dissolved into mist. Only the storm remained. By dawn, the flood had passed. Crews worked outside, hauling debris. The creek was calm again, a muddy trickle, like nothing had ever happened. Eleanor stood with her children on the stoop, wrapped in blankets. Sophia tugged her sleeve. "Mummy, was she bad?" Eleanor shook her head. "No, my love. She was a mother who didn't finish being a mother." She helped us later when Eleanor went to clean the mud from the living room. She found something glinting by the door. A small silver heart charm, shaped like waves. Not hers, not roses. She held it tightly in her palm, whispering the promise. "I'll listen." And in the quiet, beneath the hum of fans and the dripping eaves, a faint, merciful whisper lingered. "Don't let them near the water."